what's up you guys? Welcome back to the Kordial Media YouTube channel. My name is Adriana and I help e-commerce businesses and influencers drive traffic and sales utilizing Pinterest. In today's video, we are going to talk about how to generate leads utilizing promoted pins. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit the big red subscribe button and to hit the bell to be notified every single time I post a new video here on the Kordial Media YouTube channel. Without further ado, let's dive into the steps that you need to take in order to start generating consistent leads with promoted pins. So step number one, it really comes down to installing your Pinterest tag correctly. Now you can do this by following my video on how to install your Pinterest tag, but the most important thing that you need to know is that you need to set up the conversion event lead or sign up. Ideally lead if you're looking for leads, or if you're looking for signups to your email list. Either or, they kind of mean the same thing essentially, but you need to install it correctly on the back end of your email service provider or on the back end of your website, depending on where people land. So normally you want to set up the event code on the page that people land once the conversion has been made. So for example, if you're signing up to a free guide and somebody has to put in their email, when they get redirected to a thank you page, the thank you page is the one that should have the lead event code or the sign up event code on it. Step number two would be to make sure that your tag is firing correctly. So you can download the Chrome extension, the Pinterest tag helper. It'll tell you whether or not it's recording accurately your Pinterest tag on your website. And it'll help you mirror what it says on the back end of your Pinterest Business Manager, Business Access, where it says conversions. Under conversions, it'll tell you like how healthy your tag is. Usually for Shopify stores, the tag integration is seamless and it should be green check marks everywhere. If you're on a WordPress site or using a different email service provider, the more conversions you get, the more your tag becomes healthy over time. So if it's not super healthy at the beginning, you just need to collect more and more leads or signups before normally it turns healthy. And if you see that after a few weeks, you've gotten those leads coming in or those conversions and you don't think that your tag is healthy or it says that your tag is not healthy, then you can contact the Pinterest Help Center or the Pinterest ad rep associated with your ad account. The third step is now to create either a consideration campaign or a conversion campaign. So if your lead magnet or the page where you're collecting leads from is getting already a lot of page views and a lot of signups or conversions, then you can go right ahead and run a conversion campaign to collect more leads. However, if you're more on the smaller end of the amount of page views and conversions, then I would go ahead and run a consideration campaign. Usually you need to build up some traffic before you see those conversions coming in, and running a consideration campaign is a great way to do that. If you're already getting at least 50 signups or leads a day or at least every 2 days, then that's a good indication of your ad account being ready to run a conversion campaign right away to collect those leads or those signups. However, if you're seeing very few conversions in about 3 days or per day, then going for consideration campaign is the right way to go about it. If you're wondering how to actually optimize your promoted pins, feel free to download my cheat sheet code in the description box below. It'll show you different scenarios of what you may see with your promoted pins and how to optimize accordingly. When it comes to the actual setup of your campaign to collect leads or signups, you want to make sure that you are doing the keyword research necessary that's associated with the product or service that you're offering. You also want to make sure you're collecting the right interests. So within your campaign, you want to select one ad group that is going to include 3 and 10 interests that are relevant to your product or service. And then you also want to add in around 30 keywords to help guide the campaign to find your audience in the algorithm. Again, your keywords should be 100% relevant to your product or service, and you really shouldn't be going after random keywords that are not related to your product or service. When it comes to designing the creatives for a campaign to collect leads or signups, you want to make sure that you have really engaging creatives that will entice somebody to sign up. So one strategy that I've seen work really well is utilizing video creatives where you're calling out like exactly what you want at the beginning of the video. You know, you have a strong call to action, and maybe you even have subtitles or closed captions on your videos. Another strategy that I've seen work really well to collect leads is to have just like a static pin with the title of what your free guide is or what you're offering in return for a sign up, as well as a really strong call to action. It doesn't hurt to play around with different types of graphics. You know, you're going to be probably cycling through quite a few creatives before you find winning creatives, but this is something that's for you to test and to see how it works out right as you run your promoted pins. Step number 7 is to then optimize your campaigns after about 7 to 14 days. Really, it should be 14 days that you should wait before you optimize your campaigns. A lot of people are impatient and therefore want to optimize sooner. So you can get away with optimizing as soon as after 7 days, but it's really recommended to wait the full 14. That being said, the best way to optimize your campaigns is to see where the conversions or the signups are coming from. If you have, like, for example, an interest that's spending a lot but has no signups, whilst you have another interest that has a few signups but not spending enough, then maybe you want to archive the interest that's spending a lot and not getting you the conversions you're after. That's a good rule of thumb to look at for like all the different targeting. So if there's an age range or a gender or perhaps a device that's spending more than is required for the amount of conversions you're getting, then those are the ones that you may consider shutting off. Creatives at this point can also be switched out if you need. If you want like a better creatives, like to have better click-through rates, or you just none of your creatives are getting conversions, then you can replace all of them and test a new set altogether. Or you can just turn off a couple and let the most performant ones run for another 2 weeks before you decide what to do with those two. There's a variety of different ways to optimize. If you would like an expert like myself to look over your promoted pins, feel free to book a meeting with me as well in the description box below. We just chat about your Pinterest account and we see if you and I are a good fit to work together. At the end of the day, collecting leads on Pinterest is really doable and it's cheap. Actually, you can do it for a very affordable price and can be quite effective. Once you have a winning creative, winning interest in keywords, or a winning audience, then you are usually off to the races. What's really important to note is that usually the accounts that I see perform the best when it comes to collecting leads or signups are the ones who have already ran campaigns on other platforms in the past, or who have an established brand to an extent where they're already getting a bunch of traffic and traction across social media. Normally brands or businesses who maybe are just starting off with a free guide or just starting off for collecting leads, they don't necessarily see as many leads being collected as early on as somebody who has been more established on social media for at least a few months. On that note, that's all I have to say for today. If you have a question about anything that I mentioned in today's video, feel free to leave it in the comment box below and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I will see you in the next video and we will chat soon. Bye for now.